That's our channel mascot. Alright, guys.
I like it.
You do? Yeah, it's pretty good. You got a small hat. Alright. Hey, guys. Welcome to a new channel. We are the Small Hat Crew. It's me, my boy Nick. We're going to be the main, I guess, casters as far as videos moving forward. We'll always have on guests for community-driven. Nick, want to introduce yourself?
Hey, I'm Nick. I was a kid main, decided I hated myself and switched over to Doflamingo. Love the deck, hate the decks I have to go against, but overall, hey. And I also am a top 32 Treasure Cup player.
Taffy?
Hey, I'm Raph. I main Kid in set 1, but I think I'm going to stay on green and main Kinemon for set 2.
God bless. Edgar?
My brother in Christ, it's Arvind.
Oh, shit, I thought Edgar's in the call the whole time. What the fuck? Arvin, okay, alright. Shit, even better, let's go.
So I'm Arvind, I'm a law main in set 1, and I'm still testing off for set 2. But Kinemon's looking pretty appealing to me at the moment.
Bro, all this time, now that I know it's Arvin, Arvin's fucking cracked at the game, guys. He is insane. He's won 3 pre-release winter smokers. Guy can't be stopped. He was drawing the nuts, dumpstered my ass. I didn't get the top because of him, and I didn't get my smoker. Guy knows his shit. We're gonna be doing a tier list. We were hoping to be able to get one person representing each color, but purple players do purple player shit. Didn't show up. So now we're gonna have 2 X-Screen players. Nowadays we have... Arvin, what do you mean? Arvin, yeah.
Law is what I made in set 1.
Oh, fuck. God damn it. Okay. Alright, okay. Well, fellas, we'll jump right in. I'm gonna share the screen. King. Where do we want to put this bad boy? What do we think about him? Now, I've put a little hint into the tier list to help us figure out where he belongs, but I'll let you guys take it from here, work it out.
King is counterintuitive to the purple playstyle of minusing Dawn to get big effects, so it just doesn't make sense. So he goes into King tier.
Yeah. Yeah, I also feel he goes into King tier. For very obvious reasons, like you're saying, counterintuitive. Of all the colors to go into, the fact he requires you to be at 10 Dawn and he went into the color that minuses your Dawn. Don't know how that happened. Doesn't really make sense. And then even as far as further purple support has gone on, they still continue to minus Dawn, so they're not even releasing support for him. But by set 3, Iceberg is still minusing. It doesn't make sense.
I mean, he's not that bad.
Oh,
no,
God.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
No.
No, we're here for this take.
We did have somebody in our locals top with him one time when there was like 40 people, so maybe he just
got like... Wasn't that the first month of this game?
Yeah.
Alright, I think it's safe to say we move on from him. I think he's pretty figured out. Uta leader. I believe she's 1 Dawn, pump of vanilla by 2 Dawn.
By 2K, yes.
Yeah, 2K, my apologies. Arvind, I'll let you lead on this one.
Uda is pretty much the Zoro strategy, worst leader. Playing these big bodies, the vanilla bodies, and then pumping them up. But you're a little slow because you require a lot of Dawn for some of these vanillas you play. Or if you're playing the lower end, you might as well just be playing Zoro because you can pump your whole board up. But like you're also having access to good effects on characters as well. So it's stuck between the 2 leader strategies in red.
It's just a worse Zoro. Zoro pumps everything, not just vanillas. Yeah, it's only 1K, but she pumps 1 card.
Yeah.
The same amount of Dawn Zoro takes by only 2K, so it's just genuinely not worth it.
I was gonna say, she doesn't even seem like a Zoro to me. To me, she's more like a worse Sanji, because Sanji also works with vanillas. He stands 2 Dawn, so if you wanted to pump a vanilla 2K, you could, with the 2 Dawn he stands. But he also gives you more flexibility with what you can do with it. She just doesn't really do anything. That was pretty obvious. Alright, our next leader we're looking at here, you'll notice, this is the Treasure Cup, top 8 Luffy. Don't ask me how I got my hands on this bad boy, because I could go on and on about my achievements and my accomplishments, but... yeah. Now, what are you guys thinking about Luffy set 2? Because as a Luffy main, I feel it's looking pretty grim for him.
Luffy kind of just falls behind with the support that Zoro got this set. So yeah. I would I think put him in somewhere in B.
I would not touch him. And this is coming, once again, from a Luffy main. I'm not a hater. I'm a believer. Well, I'm not. I want to be, but I'm also a realist. And Luffy, he's not there, guys.
Really good set 1 Dawn efficiency. You got to play on 11 Dawn, could play a Shanks, put 2 Dawn on it. It was really good for that regards, but the power that is Whitebeard and Zoro, this set in specific, is just insane.
Alright, so right now, though, the current reigning champ, 8-drop kid, last Treasure Cup, top 16, 8 of it was kids. So, safe to say he was the best deck set 1. How are we feeling about him set 2? Dadan picks up Nami to get to Jet Pistol. If you already have the Jet Pistol, Dadan can pick up Otama. So he's never really safe. And that's just that matchup. Also now we have Black. Black is very efficient in popping VFX. Have to work a little harder to get rid of the 8-drop kid. And I say all this because at the end of the day, Kid as a leader to me is just 8-drop Kid. I don't know how people feel about that, but without 8-drop Kid, Kid isn't really a leader to me. Black outs 8-drop Kid. Red's gotten far more efficient at outing Red Drop Kid, and he was never really an issue for him to begin with. Purple's always had to out the 8-drop Kid. He still walls Blue. That's just a problem Blue's forever gonna face, it seems.
It still puts Blue in check, so it catches rogue Blue, Dofi, or Ivankov players like Raw Dog. But it's just Green mirror match is a snooze fest. Red, you pray they don't see Jet Pistol, and Purple, they just go, hey, that's a 10-drop Kaido, by the way.
Yeah, and it's just the fact that Red, again, is praying you're praying Red doesn't see Jet Pistol, but the fact that it's gotten so much easier to search it out set too.
I think one could argue that the introduction of Kinemon's efficiency in resting and the introduction of the Cozy Kyoden character card also is a soft counter to Kid's playstyle.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, no,
double 8 string minimum every turn that you don't have to trash a card for. It absolutely creeps up on Kid. I would still say he's a good leader because of his color access and his ability to close out games with double swing on leader, but now that that's just on a character card, he should really just taper down.
I'll give Kid the one thing he has going for him is that you have to draw into the character card, whereas with Kid the ability is always live. As long as you have the card to discard, of course. But yeah, the fact that ability is now on an 8k body, so it's easy to protect, and you get it off repeatedly, and if that body is outed, like 8-drop Kid, when it dies, that's kind of it. Odin, when he dies, he floats into an Okiku. That is nuts. He is just so Dawn efficient, it's honestly insane. I would put him like mid to low A.
Yeah, that's where I would see him too.
Yeah, it's not like he's not B tier, he's not with Luffy, but he's definitely low end of A.
Yeah. We're moving on to Crocodile. This leader's ass. I'll just say that. He is not good. He is
Just unapologetic.
He is bad. Oh my god.
I would expect that leader ability on a purple leader. On blue, same thing as King. It's counterintuitive. Why do I have a leader that minuses Dawn when I'm just going to have to read? That's 2 turns worth of Dawn in blue, which is insane.
Yeah.
That's our best card's a 9-drop. And I just don't get it. If King and Croc actually swapped abilities, I wouldn't be mad.
I feel if it were on the opponent's turn instead, if all their stuff is lowered the turn they try to push for game and all that, while they're trying to go aggressive, that would be a really good effect. That would be very good. I think the fact that it only lowers on your turn makes it kind of a bad ability regardless of what color it goes into. But like you're saying, it would be better in any color but purple. The fact that also we have a new leader in Z, who is -4 trash, he KOs. Croc minuses 3 Dawn, and then he puts it back in your hand. And doesn't he touch 3-drop or lower?
It's still -5, or it's -4 Dawn, and it bounces a 5 or lower.
Oh, so they're literally the same cost. Okay, so they're the same cost. Go for it.
Zad is a 3 cost or lower, and Croc is 5, but as you're saying, you don't want to be minusing Dawn in blue.
Yeah, and another thing is, Zephyr has access to black, so that he can manipulate levels and get things down into that range to then deal with them. Whereas Croc, it's pretty much, that's essentially it. That whatever the cost is, that's what he's dealing with. So if anything is above 5, he's never touching it, ever. You probably use his ability to push for game, block a little blocker, put it back in the hand, try to swing game.
I think we're pretty much agreeing he's King tier now.
Oh, King tier. Okay. All right. I was thinking he was a low D, but
Yeah, I think he's better than Uta and King for sure, but
he is. He definitely is. That's not even.
Yeah, I would have said D tier as well.
I was thinking very low
Really?
D. Yeah.
What is his saving grace?
the access to some pretty good blue cards.
There are no good blue cards.
There's some.
We got there's one drop blocker, Love Beam, which has been decreasing in numbers in set 2.
Yeah, that sounds right. Fuck it, King tier.
Alright, yeah. He'll go into King tier. Fuck it.
Kaido is the de facto purple leader because we still haven't gotten something better to replace him. The fact that he can go -7 Dawn and swing life, like 7 Dawn on leader, swing life, you take that one, trash 7, trash the last life, and then he's swinging with big, 9k, 12k bodies is wild. The purple card pool it doesn't have any searchers still for the Animal Kingdom stuff, but it has film searchers for the new Uta, for the Douglas Bullet, who is not a great card, but it's there. But it has built-in ramp in Jack, in forgot the guy's name, the 2k counter, and Onigashima. So it's the de facto purple. If you're going to play purple, you're going to play him. There's no reason to play Magellan. Sasuke.
I was very delayed on that, but yeah, Sasuke. Yeah, he's the de facto purple leader, but also I just don't think purple is really all that hot a color right now.
Hell's Judgment is a sick card. It doesn't do enough for the deck on its own. It does better in the purple decks, which we'll get to in a little bit. But the card pool's solid. Like I said, Queens, Kings, Kaidos, they all do great things. If they got a better leader, I think the deck would be better.
I think Kaido gets run down by Zoro this set,
Yep.
and it doesn't. Even into Kinemon, your Odin floats into another body, so you're not really wiping the board.
Yeah.
And if you're not wiping the board on 10 drop, then what else are you? Then you should be doing something else, right?
Yeah.
This 8k is going to swing at you twice, so you got to deal with it. So you can't let Kinemon get to that board step, but you can't exactly rush a Kinemon down.
Yeah, no.
He's going to control your board. The rest of your 6 costs to lower, and swing over it, potentially, as well.
Yeah. I think
It's difficult.
also the fact that, like you were saying, he doesn't answer the board because Odin floats. The fact that Odin floats into another 5k body, so now you've used all your Dawn, you're banking on just countering your hand, and you are at minimum dealing with a leader that's 5k, and a 5k body on the board. So you're expecting to eat at least one of those 2 hits on your following turn. And usually when you're dropping 10 drop at that point of the game, usually you're on your last 1 or 2 life. And then after you drop 10 drop is when you're at your most vulnerable. The fact that you have to take 2 hits, or you have to answer 2 hits on the following turn is not... I don't think it's a situation you ever really want to find yourself in. And the fact that 10 drop just isn't as powerful this set, and that's kind of Purple's power play, I don't know. I would put Kaido in a high B.
Not huge on high B, maybe lower B, to be real, because like I said, Whitebeard, it's not going to do a whole hell of a lot. Zoro is going to be the big popular rush deck and going to kill Kaido as quickly as humanly possible. If it plays against the Kinemon, it's not a good matchup. If it plays against Law, they just get to reflood their board. So I would say low B.
A low B? Because B's already like
I
the
agree with
third...
that.
Really? Okay.
I still think it's going to be higher than Luffy, though.
Yeah, because I was thinking him being a high B.
We might find better B decks.
Yeah, that's true. Because the way I was looking at it was him being a high B, he's still in the 3rd tier, So it's not that... I don't think he's so bad he's on the edge of falling into C. That's kind of... I don't know. We'll go, I guess majority rules on that one. We'll put him on will be the low B. So I think we've already kind of discussed this one enough. We probably already know where this guy goes. I'll let you lead on this one, Raph.
I love Zoro. We're going to put this in... I think I would put him in the kid tier.
Yeah.
Definitely up there because of all the support that it got, like you said, with the one-drop engine. And then, Arvind. And Arvind was just sharing his list earlier today, and he even put in a little bit of spice in his list by adding Whitey Bay, which is really an interesting tech choice.
What the hell is that?
Yeah, the one that can attack active characters.
Oh, that card,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's pretty good. It deals with some of the annoying cards that got set up, I guess, too.
Yeah, no, that is actually a tech I never even considered, because it's a 1 cost, 2k?
It costs 2k, but you have cards in the deck that just increase 1 cost.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
the fact it's a
absolutely
1
will.
cost is actually nuts. I didn't I never really, it was never on my radar.
The Dan grabs it, Makino pumps it, Zoro pumps it, and it can just swing on anything that your opponent doesn't want you to swing onto. Is actually, wait, I never considered it. It's, Zoro's where it belongs.
Wanted to comment on, earlier you were talking about how the Don can find a Tama quicker and deal with the 8-cost kid. Because you have the Don now, you can also play the 1-cost Gordon from the film set, which is minus 3k. So you're finding more power minus effects. And then you have the immediate on-play Vista KO to deal with your opponent's board. So, you just kill 6Ks with that combo.
Yeah. Odin, I think Odin is in contention for king tier. Well, actually, if Croc's in there, Odin has to be in there, right? Or am I crazy?
No, you're not crazy. I think I agree with you.
I would have said low D to the king tier, to be real with you, because, you have to trash it. We're getting a stage that has his leader ability on it if you really want that ability to trash a Wano and restand it on.
Yeah.
And
well, see, I would agree with that. Initially, I would have also put him in a low D, but I think the fact that we've stuck Crocodile down there means that, because I think Crocodile's better than him.
I mean, Kinemon is literally the best version of that card could be.
Yeah. Everybody's okay with king tier Odin?
I think that's okay. I think he'd be a much better card if you did not have to trash a card to restand your card.
And it's the fact he has to trash a specific type of card. He's so conditional. It just makes him so much worse. If it was just a discard, I think there'd at least be room for some kind of discussion. It wouldn't be a good discussion, but there'd be room for one. But no, you're not having to trash Wano cards. The card's terrible. Nick, I'll let you lead on the Dofi discussion as a Dofi man.
My deck is just suffering. So, the Doflamingo playstyle, I really enjoyed it. Being able to rearrange, basically, I'm stacking my deck to play the cheat cards out for 1 Dawn, while hitting Magic Number and swinging with Leader. The ability was really good. Having to see a starter, Perona, 3-drop Doflamingo, or in the new 1-drop Doflamingo for set 2. So now I play 10 starters, but the deck just gets absolutely rolled by green, which is the most popular deck this set. So it doesn't survive.
You don't think it's Zoro?
It does.
You don't think the most popular deck is Zoro?
Set 1.
Oh, I see, yeah.
And then set 2, Kinemon just makes green better. Zoro is going to control the board better because they have cheap bodies they don't care about and can just keep playing them over and over and pump them for big numbers. Doflamingo is going to be, it's definitely a B tier. I just don't know, for me at least. I have it built for fun to try and make the deck still work. But I'd put him above Luffy, I think, high B.
Yeah, Luffy should also be behind Kaido. So.
The cards that he has access to just don't do enough. The 7 warlords that we have, the only one that does on-play abilities is the Gecko Moria. The rest of them have to come out tapped, survive a turn, and usually require some sort of Dawn or anything to... Actually, I lied. We have 2 on-plays. There's that and Teach. Teach is great. We love Teach. But it's also a fucking 4K.
Well, there's also Blocker Dofi.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but that's not a card that I want to stack and play tapped because they're just going to swing over a blocker. I'd rather draw that card, play it, and then swing with Leader and keep the blocker up to keep my guys alive.
Yeah.
The deck needs something to hit higher cards, and we need a black-blue Leader to out cards because it's a very honest deck, and honesty doesn't work.
No.
Quick question. What do you think about the new Bartholomew Kuma, which is a 7 Warlord of the Sea, but it's a 3-cost, 3k.
If it were a 2k counter, I would play it. It is a 3-drop, 3k, look at top 2 cards of deck, and add a 7 Warlord to hand, and then put the other one on top or bottom of deck. I'm not a fan. I'm a much bigger fan of the 1-drop Doflamingo that looks at 3 and then puts 1 costs on the bottom of deck. I did put that card in it too, so I'm playing 10 starters now. But no, I don't think that Kuma is good at all.
What about the addition of the Jinbei promo card? How does that feel in the deck?
I like it a lot, but in actual testing, I played it at a case in 1K. I played it on Sim against Chris, because Sim randoms are usually awful.
Yeah.
People play around it. They will just not play low to the ground characters, then swing over it and then play their blockers or small things after the fact. So it feels good when it does its thing. Or people misplay around it and swing into it. They just don't read their cards, but after they learn, they just play around it. So, I love the card. Great art, great ability. has counter power as a 4-drop 5k, but it didn't do enough.
I think what's most telling about Dofi's position in the meta set too is the fact that I feel of all his new cards, the best card he got was a vanilla. That's probably not a good sign. Yeah, I think Dofi's a high B. I don't see how he could be A, unless anyone disagrees with that.
No, I think that's where he belongs.
Yeah. All right.
It's not what he deserves, though.
We're moving on to my boy. Actually, because I was gonna lead on him because I love this man, but because I love him, actually, I'm not gonna lead on him. I want to hear your opinions. Raph, speak about my boy, and be careful what you say.
This leader has gotten a lot of support this set. I don't know, the new purple events are really good. The new blue events are also really good. You survive longer. I don't know if it assists the game plan as much because Zara is very effective at placing numerous bodies and swinging you for 5-6k. And Kinemon can answer your board if you try to build a board.
Alright.
But I'll leave it to the experts because I actually don't play this deck when we play against it very often.
That's fair.
If you had to tier it, where would you think it would go?
It wouldn't be in king tier,
I'd
but
say it's above C tier.
So like the bottom of B is where you're putting it.
Either the bottom of B, mid B, or top of C, depending on how the meta shapes.
Insanity.
That's fair.
Insanity.
Brother,
My
we play this deck.
God.
No.
My God.
This is a pet deck for both of us, which is why we didn't want to voice opinions first. But it's just like with this leader, the amount of drawing power it has, and it's sad because Whitebeard just does it better. You're drawing 2 cards every turn with Whitebeard from his life and his top of his deck, whereas Crocodile, you have to fulfill a condition of playing an event, which typically costs Dawn in the first place to draw cards. But that access to the blue card pool for just Love Beams, Miss All Sundays, who can grab any event from discard pile, is absolutely insane. I do think this card suffers for the same reason that the next leader suffers, and it's the blue card pool is awful.
Because blue only really gains 1 new card that he can use next set. That's what Gum Gum Rain. Oh, and Brick Fist, right? And those are both events. So those at least synergize with him. Not to get too ahead, but it's like even the new cards blue got, they don't help the other leader at all. So we'll just go ahead and place this boy. I was gonna put Croc at low A. I was gonna put him at a low A, a high B.
No, I think so. I'm in the same opinion with you. This deck is great. It's hilarious to play, but it loses the time. So
That's the problem. That's why I've never. Yeah, never mind.
An actual competitive environment with him, B, low B.
Yeah, no, I agree. Because as much as I love it, I've never piloted it in real life because I don't understand how this deck doesn't just lose to time rules. And that alone is enough to make him not. Oh, wait a minute.
I was about to say, brother, we'll just stuck him back into A tier anyways.
Intrusive thoughts.
The best damage dealer the deck has is 7-drop Crocodile with Banish, but there's just so many cards that answer it between black and red right now.
What decks do you think it answers in the meta?
Don't ask that question.
Red answer. Set 2.
I think it beats black.
It definitely beats black. Green is a bad matchup for it because it rests all of its big characters with a 4 cost 6k that rests 6 or lower, which is absolutely insane. So it can rest my queens, it can rest my Utas. It's absolutely a bonkers card.
Purple's still going to be a bad matchup, but I will also say that I think we'll be seeing a lot less purple this set, so that's a minor buff for him.
We just really like his leader ability, bro. We're just playing Yu-Gi-Oh with his leader.
He's going to be good one day. I'm telling you guys, he's going to be good one day. It's not today, but he will be one day. Now, I guess the question here is, how do we feel he stacks up against Luffy? Not like which deck wins, but as far as tiering goes, because I think he's better than Luffy.
I think his ability is better than Luffy.
Okay, no, you're right. I'll stop it right there.
But Luffy
has access to a better card pool.
Yeah, the card pool.
Exactly.
Alright. Blurpool Kaido. God.
Suffers for the same reasons. Like, Kaido, the Blurpool Kaido ability is fantastic.
Yeah.
When something's KO'd during your turn, you ramp a Dawn. The fact that he has to be donned to do it means you don't ramp off of 10 drop. You can ramp off of 9 drop. It's not ideal.
One really...
Still has...
Yeah, there's one really cute play that the deck has where it can 9-drop, and if you have Onigashima up, you can 9-drop again on the following turn.
Yeah.
It's cute,
But that's about it. Yeah, exactly.
You're also a 4-life leader playing colors that don't like to be at less life. Proc gets away with it because you have a lot of survivability, but
Right.
I know.
Like, the best blue card that contributes to this leader is the 1-drop Law Blocker. I can't imagine what else you're playing from the blue card pool.
Maybe... Because he's so fragile, maybe Gum Gum Rain? I don't know. Because purple usually keeps a lot of cards in hand since they play big bodies. So they're usually 1 or 2 cards a turn and they hold the rest. So I think they would have this card for Gum Gum Rain, but
I was gonna say, and Gum Gum Rain turns any big body without counter into counter power, basically.
And like that's the most I'd give him, but that's not saying much. I think he's D tier. I think he'll be broken one day. I think he has one of the best leader abilities in the game. He'll be broken one day, but it's not until blue becomes a competent color. Arvin, you lead on Law.
Well, I think fundamentally Law got a lot of good cards this set with the 1-drop engine. I mean, it just synergizes so well with flooding the board and reaching your leader ability. In practice, I'm not sure because I've been testing into Zoro and Kinemon and some of the newer decks. And Zoro just rushes you before you get to your win con, which is build board, build hand advantage, and swing face, you know. It's they have the same speed as you, but they're just swinging at your life instead. And you can't exactly counter early because you need those.
You need the cards to establish the board, yeah. Because he's a vanilla. I didn't expect that from you. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't expect you to think he was the best, but I didn't think that sounded pretty grim. I'm not gonna lie.
For Zoro?
For Law, I was expecting a lot more praise for him. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I think if Zoro did not exist, or the Zoro speed does not exist, or maybe I'm just getting high rolled on Sim. Could be that. But I think Law is like really good this set. Okay. I will cope. I mean, it's probably not cope. It's probably really good.
Yeah, no.
It just has good card pulls, green and red. Like,
yeah.
What are you missing?
I would put him above Kid, to be honest, a high A.
I put him there.
Yeah,
as well.
same. That's what I was thinking as well.
Just getting rolled by Zoro feels bad, but I think most decks are gonna get rolled by Zoro if they open well.
Yeah, Zoro's real cheesy. I'm not gonna lie. I think the biggest problem is like Zoro is like a cheesy Saki deck. Not like, you know, he didn't actually luck sack, but it felt like he cheesed his wins. The fact though that like set 2 he does that consistently. He does it very consistently now. Is the issue. Because it isn't really sacking when it's what he's built to do now. He's just too good at it. Speaking of sacking though, Red Green Luffy.
Sucks. Yeah, I think the ability, like, it's just too expensive to use. Yeah. Like, what is it? 4 Dawn, right?
Yeah.
To restand the character and just give it 1k power.
To restand a 5 or less Straw Hat or Supernova.
Yeah, it's very specific. The only saving grace this deck has, it's like Arvin said with the red-green card pool, it just has access to 8-drop, it has access to Rush Luffy, has access to Gum Gum Pistol and all that stuff. So it can answer certain things, but as an ability, as a leader with that ability with 4 life, I don't think it's just worth it.
Like
I do have a question for Arvin, because he plays Red-Green Law. Red Green Luffy, do you think it does better with the new film package, or do you play the film package in Law at all?
You know, that is a build, but I think by the time you reach the, you probably don't play the Luffy because it's 7 Dawn, and you don't want that stuck in your hand early. I wanted to comment that I think most dual color leaders in this game have very solid abilities. I don't think that of this Luffy.
Yeah, no, his ability is very mid. I remember when we were talking to Manny, and Manny was talking about the power play. It's funny, so he said the power play was that you swing with the Nami, you get the surge, and then you restand and you swing with Nami, get the surge again. And remember, I was against it then. I didn't know that ability for Nami to get the search, it cost a Dawn. So it's even worse than I thought initially.
Yeah.
It's like, I was already against it, and then when I was talking to Garen and he said it cost a Dawn to search, I was like, oh, this is so bad. This is ridiculous. We were looking at one guy's tier list. One guy said Luffy's the second best leader in set 2. How do you feel about that?
Red, green, Luffy specifically.
Yeah.
I would need to see the list.
Oh, you don't want to see the list. You know what? Let me go ahead and find the list. Let me pull it up. I think this is worth looking at.
Like you said, most dual color leaders have a pretty solid ability. Out of all the ones we've looked at, Blurple Proc drawing cards, Blurple Kaido is ramping off of just leader ability. Trafalgar Law is turning small bodies into big bodies or bouncing your searchers so you can play them again. Luffy playing 4 Dawn to restand maybe like an unblockable Luffy and give it extra power to go for game. It very Crocodile to me to just use that leader ability to close things out. But it's otherwise just not great to me.
Alright, guys. Are you ready to see this list?
Yep. Oh my lord.
Yeah.
I want to see the actual, like, card list, though, for that deck.
No.
I would as
No
well,
combination
but
of cards justifies what we are looking at here.
It put fucking Law at the bottom of tier 1 is a travesty. Garp, we'll get to Garp.
We'll get to Garp.
there's a lot of questionable choices here.
Oh, you think
Yeah.
so?
No.
And Smoker, too, where Smoker's at? I have...
What about the
I have
fact...
thoughts on that.
What about the fact that Uta and Kinemon are where they are? That they're in the same tier as Doki.
Kinemon's placement being behind
Oh yeah,
some...
behind Croc, behind Garp, behind
And
everybody's
behind
behind Red Green Luffy. This is
Interesting.
It is a list of all time.
oh, I don't even know if it's that.
Lacking critical information.
I would honestly say that Red Green Luffy has a better card pool than Blurple Kaido, but I think the leader ability is better than Blurple Kaido. So I
think
honestly
he's
want
on
to put
here.
it below.
I think you see.
Like, simply for the card pool, yeah, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. 100%. I can't... The fact that he was ahead of Kinemon, he was ahead of Whitebeard, I don't... Alright. This one is an easy one.
We can stop, yeah.
Alright, this is a breather, we don't have to think too much. Film starter
8 cost
Shanks.
kid. 8 cost kid here
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
during opposite day.
No. We'll put him where he belongs.
Did
Alright,
people actually lose to this deck at a local we went to?
yeah. It was... Oh, yeah, because remember, he was, because I faced him final round, we were both undefeated. People just weren't reading his cards.
True. So Purple Shanks does Zoro ability, but worse. You have to minus Dawn to pump your film characters in specific. So it requires a specific card. It requires minusing Dawn when there's no good film ramp cards, like Onigashima. So
Yeah, I think leader would actually be good if it had its Onigashima, like, stage.
Really? I think if it had that, it would be mid. It's so costly. Now, I guess when you do it, you probably are winning that turn. I think another big part of it, though, is that, like, because the whole thing is really putting bodies on the board and then waiting with them to push game, but I don't see how they stick around in set 2, where Kinemon's tapping all of them and beating over them, especially with Yamato existing now, and Whitebeard also just existing, and Zoro, like you were talking earlier, getting the jet pistols and stuff, lowering... everything's
I
vulnerable to
did
Vista
forget about
now.
one thing with them though. Like the one thing that it does have its own actually Dawn ramper. Remember, it's a discard
Yes.
film card to ramp 2 Dawn is active,
And that's
which is
just like
insane.
not even on play or anything. You just play her and do that same turn. It's actually crazy.
activate main ability.
It don't-
It has a film searcher, which Purple, again, Animal Kingdom does not have. So I think it actually isn't the worst deck. I probably wouldn't put it in King tier if I'm thinking about it realistically.
Oh, I wouldn't either. I put him in low I would put him in king tier, but we're a democracy here, so I'll let you guys discuss here, and then we'll average it out.
He's definitely king tier.
Okay, that's 2 for king tier. But that's 3
I don't know.
or
I
4?
feel like it's better. It's at least top of king tier because it's better than Crocodile.
I don't think so.
I'm looking at king tier, and I'm thinking we might have put Odin a little low, but
We can
it's fine.
adjust it. It's not set in stone.
it has good cards. It's just the leader is bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, maybe he is above Croc because Croc is a bad leader and the cards are bad too.
I would maybe consider it even D tier, just because Wano cards are good.
Also, aren't there cards that get specific abilities if Odin is your leader, like the Kinemon?
There are. Yeah, the set one Kinemon.
Yeah, we also gained that blocker. Oh yeah, because she would be a blocker at all times with him as your leader, wouldn't she?
No, you need, I believe.
You have to have a character.
Oh, a character? Oh my
You get
god,
character,
Odin!
yeah.
I tried. My god. Maybe. No, I guess it doesn't matter. They're at back table. Well, they can duke it out here. There we go.
That should have been the image for king tier's back tables.
Nick, you're gonna play Smoker set too, so you lead that conversation.
So Smoker is the best mono black leader. I'm getting the Sakazuki structure deck leader is not even actually in the tier list, which is funny. But it lets you hit magic. So if your opponent has searchers or against Zora specifically, a bunch of 1-drop bodies, it hits magic number off of 1 Dawn. So you're always swinging for 7. It lowers cost, so that way your big Sakazukis, your Garps and things can just pop cards for free, pretty much. So I'm a big fan of the black card pool. At the moment, this is the first set we have with it and its starter deck. I do think black continues to get better with set 3 because it gets its own searcher. As it stands now, I would put it as a B tier deck, probably right below Doflamingo.
You think below Dofi? I think he's above Dofi.
Really?
I think he's ahead of Dofi.
I think he's an A.
I think he's a low A high B.
Yeah.
That's fair. I can see the argument for that. I have a bias towards Doflamingo as well, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
No, the card pool is great. Actually, yeah, A tier for the alt arts alone. The fucking alt arts on this deck is so
They're
good.
pretty cracked. I'm not gonna lie. I just realized we didn't really discuss. I don't think Uta should be behind King.
King is a vanilla for like 5 turns.
Yeah, I think Uta's better than King. I'm gonna switch him. Is that anyone contest that?
No, that's fine. King belongs
It
to the
is
bottom of
his
the team
tier.
for a reason.
Yeah. He should be at the bottom of his own tier.
Yeah, no, I agree. Whitebeard. Who wants to lead that conversation? God, I hate that card.
So
good.
I don't know if it is 8-drop kid tier this set. It's an unstoppable force that is coming. So this set it's a 6-drop leader, or 6k leader rather, with 6 life that, like I said earlier, you draw 2 cards every turn. You draw from the top of the deck, you draw from your life at the end of turn. And the Radical Beam is always going to be a 4k counter. The cards that do things because you're playing Whitebeard, the Swords and things like that, are just absolutely insane. I'm a contester for top of A or bottom of 8 cost kid at the moment, just because he doesn't have all of his cards.
I think he's
Moby Dick is a contender for the ban list.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's definitely. I think he is 8-drop kit tier because I think Moby Dick on its own, the fact Marco revives, the fact he's a 6k body, he draws 2 every single turn. He's not nearly as dumb as he's gonna be in set 3, but I think he's definitely a top 3 then.
I don't think he's top 3 this set.
I was gonna ask you, do you think it's ahead of him, but I guess we'll get to that actually.
You out-resource Whitebeard this set, but they have much more consistency next set. That's why they're a menace next set. Right now you're working with good cards, but you're inconsistent, and you rely on the cards you draw in life and the cards you draw initially. But then, if your opponent is playing cards like Kinemon and Zoro, you're just gonna get out-resourced. You will block attacks, but you won't be able to deal with everything they throw up.
No, that's fair. That's kind of why I'm at the bottom of kid tier at the moment, because it's still good.
Yeah, I think he would be. I think he's either bottom kid, top of A. I think he's bottom kid actually.
If he's in the bottom of kid, then that would, in my opinion, put him in the top 3, because I only see one other leader that goes to the kid tier after this.
Do you think
Possibly.
Do you think? All right, so between him and Law, who do you think is better?
I think Law is better.
Really?
Yeah, I really do. I think he just because Law with a competent pilot, aka Arvin, it's just it can be unbeatable at times. And like the combinations that you just have with Law are just far more intricate than they are with Whitebeard. Whitebeard is just punch face. If you get hit a couple of times, you're gonna lose a lot quicker than you can get the cards that you need to survive.
But
Well, you're
with
drawing
like Law
twice a
playing a
turn,
bunch
though.
of low. But also, Law playing a bunch of low to the ground, low bodies, Red has a ton of removal just playing
Yeah,
Vista.
Vista. This set is.
Well, we're not talking about the Law v Whitebeard matchup. We're talking about how they fare into the set 2 meta.
Oh, it's right.
Right. Well, no, I agree with that, but I do think that's still a worthwhile discussion because I do think that Law will be one of the best decks next set. So that is one of the matchups that will determine Whitebeard's placement. Because ultimately it's how you fare against like the top 3-4 decks, and I think Law's definitely in there.
Yeah, I mean, I still think top of A. The 6K leader is absolutely menacing. Law is the king of 5K swings every turn, and now you have to invest more Dawn to do that every turn. It is a detriment to the deck.
I think I could actually discuss that point because the adaptation set 2 Law players in Japan made is becoming a deck that spams 6K bodies.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Oh yeah, Makino does a lot of work for the 1 costs. You're right.
it's you play more X-Drakes, you play more starter Laws and starter Zoros, so you have access.
Really? Law's playing starter Zoro?
Yes.
Really, I don't like that at all.
Well, I mean, it's 6K on your opponent's turn, 7K for 1 Dawn on your own turn. It's not awful.
If Whitebeard is a meta leader, then that's the shift you have to make.
Yeah, it's true. That does make sense, actually. I think that is also a argument, though, for just how good a leader Whitebeard is. The fact that they're having to do that to adapt.
Oh, I'm not saying it's a bad leader.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's top 3
Yeah, that's
in this set.
that's fair. This is, like I was saying, this is democratic. I was gonna put him at the bottom of Kid, top of A, but I am clearly outnumbered here. So we'll put him behind Law. Kinemon, however, I think is top 3. I think Kinemon.
I love how stupid his alt art is. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah, no, I like it a lot too.
Very in character.
I don't know.
I didn't get that far.
It seems we're with a lot of Zoro believers. And obviously Zoro's really good, obviously. So I'm not saying I don't think Zoro is not top 3. He clearly is. I just think the conversation is if he's better than Kinemon. A lot of people seem to think he is. I think Kinemon is, honestly, I think he's the best deck set too. But yeah, I'll let you guys talk on this. How do you guys feel about
In the testing that I've done in the for Kinemon on the sim, I just feel so powerful. The amount of control it has with the amount of resting you can do on the opponent's characters is just insane. And playing against Black too felt strong. It felt really strong because, like, even if they have to invest so much of their resources to just kill your Odin, and then when your Odin just drops the freaking Okiku, it's just demoralizing for the opponent.
That's one of the things too, because they can be hiding behind 2 Borsalinos, and it's like Odin answers that very easily. And in the event that they don't block or whatever, and they do kill the if they do kill the Odin, then he, like you said, he floats into Okiku, and Okiku also deals with the Borsalinos. Like that, I feel like Green has Black's number. I don't think it's close.
I think that's for sure. You have like 12 cards that rest before Gothel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also the
Yeah,
fact that
you're telling me I'm gonna run into the same issue in set 2?
yeah, and then I think the fact that also like one of those cards is a 6K body on a 4-drop that you can cheat out on turn 2 is insane.
Mhm.
The fact that this deck can go turn 1 Okiku, turn 2 Yamato is insanity. That is so dumb. I think that Kinemon is best deck. Like the amount of times that Odin dies and you just float into an Okiku, it just feels so disgusting. It feels unfair. I wouldn't say as unfair as a Moby Dick, but like it feels like it shouldn't be.
It's a boss monster. Like it is Green's boss monster.
That ability is so strong. I feel like One Piece. I didn't think we'd have an ability like that so soon into the game's lifespan. Because it's crazy. It's like Okiku's just a 3-drop, but she's a 5k body that deals with bodies. She is insane. And then she's also like, her being 5k, she's not the magic number, but she can match the leader with no additional investment. She can so easily swing at the leader, make them have to use a card from their hand, and just get rid of a blocker in the process. Okiku always felt like was one of the strongest green cards, and Odin has made it so that there's a way to consistently get to her without having to hard play her, without having to invest resources like Dawn to play her, and even if you do, she's cheaper. I think Kinemon is ridiculous. I really do. But it sounds like you guys are in the belief that Zoro is the better deck?
I actually predict Kinemon will have more tops.
Yeah, no, I'm the same. It's like, Zoro has, like we've been going over 100 times, one cost package does good things, but Kinemon is just a consistent and gets a bonus curve so easily. Like, even if you clear my board, hey, you got playing back down to one character, so hey, I'm just gonna play this 8 cost for 7, I'm gonna have some more Dawn up to search with Lionel Monosuke, who becomes even better this set to grab anything you really want him to grab between 2k counters and resting cards. So I think Green is going to be the more consistent and the better deck.
Yeah, no, Kinemon's nuts. Okay, Ivankov, who wants to talk about this? I do not like this deck. I do not think it's good.
I played it yesterday. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's good. I think this is a perfectly mid-tier leader. I think he's like top of B, bottom of A, top of B.
I think
likely.
I really think he relies on his stage way too much. Kind of like, I mean, it's kind of like Naito almost in a sense, but the stage is very powerful for his ability.
Yeah, I think another thing.
I was about to ask whether we put him above or below Kaido. Like,
I think he's better than Kaido.
I think right up there next to the Dofi.
Yeah, Ivankov, the Impel Down cards. I've said it before, not in this call though, so I'll say it again. The cards are not Dawn efficient. They have very mediocre effects. A lot of them are essentially even vanillas if you don't have a low hand. So either with this deck's playstyle is either you have a hand and very mediocre cards on the board, or your cards actually do have good effects, but you have no resources in your hand and you're top decking. Like, I feel like that is just inherently a flawed game plan.
It doesn't work well with what you want to do in One Piece, which is like gather resources and protect your life. But you're protecting life with your like 7k blocker, or you're trying to control the board with the 6-drop Luffy, or something like that.
Yeah, I do not like this leader one bit. I would put him ahead of Dofi, and I think that's where I would that's it. What do you guys think as far as placement?
It's depressing, but more people are going to play it than Doflamingo this set.
It's the hot new thing.
Yeah, I think this deck falls off real fucking hard. I think by the end of OPO2, no one's playing this deck. I mean, there are people playing it, but this deck's not doing anything. This deck is not. I think this is a very mid deck. This feels like pack filler.
Yeah, no, it's so wild that, like, blue is just gimmick decks every set. So set 1, we get to cheat from top of deck. Set 2, we play with low hand. Set 3, we try to kill ourselves with deck out.
Yeah, the fact...
And it's just like, they're introducing so many dumb mechanics for blue that they aren't giving support to any of them. It is counterintuitive to, like, anything that I want to do with blue at the moment, which is just disappointing because I love blue.
I agree with that too. The fact that a lot of blues, because even if blue does get good cards, the fact that it seems like the identity the color has is that all of its support for each set is going to be archetypal. So it doesn't transfer over or translate into the next blue set. So like if Ivankov has blue cards, you're probably not playing them. You're not playing them in Nami. Ivankov introducing new cards does nothing for Dofi. Like, all the cards are very heavily locked in behind their leader, and that is real bad for me.
Flamingo cards are splashable into Ivankov with the 3-drop blocker to stack your deck to stack the draws for the 7-drop Ivankov, but I would still put it behind Doflamingo, to be honest.
Really. I think as far as the meta developing, because I don't think this is a good leader, I really don't. I think Dofi would still be the better deck. I just don't know if he's going to have the representation to actually give him more results than Ivankov. But, I agree with that. I do think Dofi's the better leader. I just don't know if he'll have more results. Anybody can test that?
I put Kaido above Ivankov, in my opinion.
Okay, no, I also agree with that.
Yeah, I just wanted him behind Doflamingo. Oh, anywhere in B tier.
No, this is a fine placement for him. That's fine. Magellan. I think this leader doesn't do anything.
It's in King tier.
I don't think he's king tier. I think he's D.
I think he's D as well, below Kaido.
Yeah, I agree.
What? Oh, he has had an errata, by the way. It is, so right now he reads, when a Dawn card leaves your field back to the Dawn deck,
yeah.
you gains 1,000. The errata makes it so when Dawn leaves either player's field, he gains 1,000.
So he synergizes
So
with his
basically,
support then.
exactly. So like his 6-drop will make him into a 7k, things like that. But even then, like the Jailer Beast and things that require an Impel Down type leader,
He
don't
gains
do
1k,
enough.
right? Doesn't he become a 6k?
I think doesn't his ability?
No,
his
it
ability
doesn't.
isn't Dawn
It
X1, is
doesn't.
it?
Yeah, he's just...
Is it still only your turn?
Yeah.
Yeah, your turn once per turn.
Okay.
Yeah, if it was opponent's turn, there'd be a discussion to have here, but I don't think he... I think his fate is sealed. Raph, talk about Sanji.
Yeah, Raph.
Sanji felt really good in the pre-release, but I'm still trying to get a competent build together with him. It just doesn't feel like the ability for him to restand Dom when you play a vanilla card if you have 3 or less characters is cool. There's a lot of combos to it that you can do, whether it's the Centamaru package with, what's the card? Pacifista, or whether it's the Ivankov into Crocodile, or the whole film engine. It feels good, but it's still lackluster in the fact that there's not enough power, and if you're playing a competent player, they would just flood the board and keep your board what's it called, full, so that you can activate the leader.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think this leader is bad. I think the fact he's playing on 4... I think if you are playing on 4 life and one of your colors is blue, you're probably not good.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. I think Sanji's behind Luffy. I think he might even be behind Kaido.
Wait, you think he's...
Oh, okay, okay, sorry. I thought when you said Luffy, you meant red Luffy, not red-green Luffy.
Yeah.
I was very confused.
I think he goes where Magellan is right now.
Yeah, it also falls victim to the same thing. Blue card bull, not great. Like, for him, it actually works out a little bit. Like you said, the Pacifista Centamaru Kuma engine does work in his favor, but even then, it's still not enough. Because you could just play the green film package with this deck that has its own big vanillas that they just continue to play each other out of hand. So I would definitely put it above Magellan.
Do we think he's better or worse than Purple Kaido?
His defensive ability is actually pretty strong as well, with access to 3-sword style of Nagiri and then Love Miller right after that. So I think he has a little bit of survivability, but
You're
he's
actually
still...
absolutely correct, though.
Yeah, no, that's...
Yeah, still D tier, top of D tier. Like you're saying, Onigiri plays a vanilla. He's now out 2 cards from hand. Love even puts you back a card in hand. Actually, a really good ability.
Yeah, I'm not gonna...
Like in that specific case.
Yeah, I don't... Too much one way or the other about Sanji. I just think he's bad, so... Alright! An interesting one. Garp. On paper, this leader's disgusting. In practice, not so much. He's just fragile. He has Radical Beam, he has a 1-drop blocker. But like, his colors... Red's popping based on power, black's popping based on cost. And it's like, oh, 2 different ways to pop. That's good, but the fact they don't synergize is actually a liability. He is not... I know that he will be very good. Or I think he'll be very good one day. I don't think that's right now.
Yeah, so Absolutely. Like, we have seen a new card from Black Luffy starter deck. It's a 2-cost jet pistol that KOs a 2 or less. And it's a Straw Hat black card,
Yeah,
so like
the fact
Nami
that-
can still grab it in the red deck. So it can play like red support, like you're saying. You can play the Namis, the Choppers, the Radical Beams. It's going to have that black Straw Hat support that it can
I think the
actually
biggest-
play with more control without
Yeah.
having to focus on things like power reduction, because the leader ability, I think,
really
is actually
good.
insane. Like, anytime you
Yeah,
get Don
exactly.
Humanist's cost is really dumb.
Yeah,
The
I
issue
think
is,
another
It
really
doesn't
big
have those
issue
cards
that
yet,
he's
so
facing.
it's not
No,
different.
absolutely. No, right now it's bad. It's fragile.
Well, I forgot, so I guess it doesn't matter. Okay. I think he's ahead of Luke.
I would have said top of C, honestly.
I guess right now, yeah.
I think Sanji has a clear strategy to win the game than Garp does.
Well, I think Sanji has a clear strategy, but I think his strategy pales in comparison to Garp's color pool.
I see. Just big
Yeah.
off good black cards, good red cards,
Yeah.
throwing those in general in the game. I suppose that could work. I do think that Smoker is just straight up better
Oh,
as
definitely.
a leader.
It's not even, like, a question. Smoker's way better. I think he's worse than Red Green Luffy, too, though.
Yeah, because Red Green Luffy has a better pool.
Yeah. Okay, alright.
And a leader with the opposite problem. Hey, these colors synergize, but I don't really have a way to defend myself.
Now, he has the best blockers in the game. He has Borsalino.
Queen in,
He has
what's going on?
Queen. Uta. But,
All of
Hina.
those get answered by green.
yeah, Hina. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about him. I think he's good. I think he's very, very good. I think this is one of those leaders. It could just be bait. I don't know. Because he feels like one of those good leaders that isn't yet figured out. And like when Japan finished their meta, he was starting the top near the very end of it. He got his most tops in like their last month. So I don't know. I have no clue to think about him. I think he's good. I think he's high A. I think he's behind
think someone
like
picked that.
maybe. Mm-hmm.
I think it'll depend on how much Kinemon we see. But if he can answer a Kinemon board with ease, then he should be better. But, he needs to
Like his-
set up. It's since he's part purple. And I don't
I was about to say. Yes,
What
that
is his
was
RAM card?
He doesn't.
I think one of his issues is that his power play is that he can 10 drop Kuzan, lower everything by 5, and then use his ability, so he pops a 5 and an 8. That doesn't really do anything in Zoro because everything's so low to the ground. Answering Odin isn't really good, I feel. Because it's like, so I guess it's still strong. He can answer the Odin and then answer the Okiku that it floats into. But I still feel like Green, because he's playing on 4 life, and Green is so good at dodging blockers. So I think he loses to that. I think that he'll probably also lose to Whitebeard. It's just Moby Dick.
He probably just also loses the Smoker.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. I
Yeah.
remember what I was going to say about Garp that I forgot earlier. It's the fact that both colors are really good at destruction. Red's destroying, black's destroying, and we've introduced a new color into the game that is just immune to it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think Z is like, I think I would put Z where Kid is right now.
Do you think he's better than Smoker?
I think Smoker's ahead of Kid, honestly.
I can see that.
Yeah, I could see that too, just because Smoker can answer green pretty easily. Kid easily at least.
Smoker can answer boards. It's just we answering boards enough to win the game.
Yeah, this is what I think
I
this
suppose.
looks like. Alright,
You think V's ahead of Kid?
I think so.
Hmm.
I think so, because near the end of OPO2 in Japan, Z was starting to get results. And his color combination is really good. And also, like, I don't think it's because Kid's bad, because Kid wasn't doing anything there. I just think it's the fact that if you're gonna play the green card pool, why don't you just play Kinemon?
I think that's a pretty good spot for him. Have not looked closely at those lists, but I do recall that they were dropping.
Yeah. And then I guess we'll end it. We have 8-drop Kid. Where do we feel that he falls? Set 2. Surprisingly, I don't think he falls into his own tier.
I think here.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Fellas,
Well, actually, Blue still doesn't answer him, so I
Yeah, but Blue's not
let's put him above.
Blue's not a deck though, is set 2.
That's why I was saying put him above Blue.
Oh god!
Is he? Would Blue do better if other decks start answering the 8-cost kid for him? Or
Yes, actually.
That's the hope, yes, because I'm hoping people just stop playing 8-cost kid because other decks answer it.
Yeah, because if 8-drop kid dies, if he goes the same way he did in Japan, then Dofi can top. But yeah, no, there he goes.
Well, I actually don't know it's not a great argument because Kaido below 8-drop kid answers 8-drop kid as well. So it's weird, but I do think he is the rogue stomper. Like anything that's not top tier of the meta is pretty much gonna lose to 8-cost kid alone.
Yeah, I don't see what deck below, but besides Garp, I think Garp is like the only rogue deck that answers him. I don't know. I think this is a really good list. I feel really good about this. This looks really good to me. Anybody have anything they want re-looked at, or any last minute thoughts that come to mind before we lock this in?
And that's a resounding no.
Yeah, I guess.
Hell yeah, we're just so fucking good at this game, bro. We're just like, damn, this is the definitive like One Piece leader tier list, and there's like nothing no one else can say about it. So,
this list is sexy. This is real good.
Luffy needs to go up though. Red Green Luffy needs to be in kid tier.
Yeah, he should be the second best deck.
Can we do it for the thumbnail?
No, we can just... We're better than that. Let's not sink to his level. Alright, there you have it, the definitive One Piece OPO2 tier list. These are objective facts. Nothing really to refute here, because all refuting happened between us, and we solidified that this is fact. So, yeah, I guess if you're gonna build a deck or anything like that, you go based off of our opinions, and you should be good.
Because they're the only ones that matter.
Yeah, they're the only opinions, even, I'd say. So yeah, anybody got anything they wanna say or anything? Anybody want to shout anything out to this channel with 2 subscribers? Those 2 subscribers been me and Nick. If you say it, I can guarantee you the 2 subscribers will see it. Alright!
Arvin to Raffing.
I guess that's it.
Alright, I just want to thank Raff and thank Arvin for coming on, because I do value them as good players. I do value their opinion. They're some of the few people in this community that I actually enjoy hanging out with outside of playing events. And thank you to the people watching this definitive tier list, because it is the only one. The low tier, low effort content on YouTube for One Piece needs to stop, because it's farming, and we want to actually put out good content. So if you have anything that you want to see from us, please feel free, let us know. All 2 of our subscribers will definitely see it.
Yeah.
And yeah, you have a great evening.
Alright, see you guys. And we got a word from the captain. Did you hear that? Small herself. Alright, but yeah, see you guys. Take care. Till next time.